Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva, Nitai Gaura Haribo, Haribo,
Haribo,
Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo, Nitai Gaura Premanandi, Hari Haribo.
Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Haribo. Oh, you play very nicely, huh? तुम्हारा नाम क्या है? Meera, oh, that's right, Meera. You can bring it over here from my friend. Hare Krishna. All right, make it quick. We came to talk about Krishna, not me.
We are very fortunate to have His Grace Deena Bandhu Prabhu. He is a senior disciple of His Grace Srila Prabhupada. We are fortunate to get a second chance also. So yesterday we had a first class with His Grace Deena Bandhu Prabhu. This is our second class. So whoever newly came to this program, His Grace Deena Bandhu Prabhu is born in Los Angeles, California in USA. He joined Krishna Consciousness Movement in 1969. He first met Srila Prabhupada in 1970 in Los Angeles, where he got initiated 55 years ago. Very well. Many of our age also not there. The Prabhu opened the first temple in Dallas, Texas. He was the president of Portland Temple from 1972 to 78. 1980, he moved to Colombia and he preached in Spanish. 1984, he moved to Vrindavan. 1984, so 41 years.
Where did the ceremony go?
So since then, Prabhu is living in Vrindavan. In 1986, he was appointed the president of Krishna Balaram Temple for 3 years, 3 months. Around 1988, Baba Mahadev Das approached him to take over the restoration of Vrindavan Kund project. And in 2003, beautiful carved stone temple of Srimati Vrinda Devi was inaugurated in Vrinda Kund, which Deena Bandhu Prabhu maintained for 30 years. Among various other significant projects in Vrindavan, Deena Bandhu Prabhu has helped in restoring Samadhi Mandir of the great saint Srila Sanatana Goswami. He has also been active supporter to restore the sacred river Yamuna in Vrindavan. So whoever he comes across, he humbly invites them to come to Vrindavan and have darshan to all holy places. With that, we will welcome warmly Deena Bandhu Prabhu by loudly chanting one time Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Over to you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. So we're extremely blissful to be here in Austin. We can't remember if we came here before, but we came to Houston. We opened the Dallas Temple. Then later they needed help in Houston, so we came to Houston. We may have visited Austin sometime to chant at UT or something. But after COVID, my memory is finished. So that's 1970, so I can't go back that far. So we're very, very pleased to be here at the lotus feet of these very lovely Sri Sri Radha Krishna, and very happy Sri Sri Gaurnitai, and to be at the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada. and with all the devotees of Austin Yatra. It's a very blissful pleasure for me. So today is a very auspicious day. This is Braha Dwadasi, the appearance of Lord Brahadev. And we're going to hear about that. But first we'll start with a wonderful song glorifying Lord Chaitanya, because it's only by Lord Chaitanya's mercy that we see anything in Braj. We heard yesterday how he discovered Radhakund and Shamakund, so we have great debt to him, because we only see, because he sent the 6 Goswamis to unearth all the lost places of Krishna's pastimes. So whatever we see in Vrindavan is only by his mercy. Now, because we're Gaudiya Sampradaya, 90% of our bhajans are all in Bengali, especially if it's about Lord Chaitanya. But this bhajan is about Lord Chaitanya, but not in Bengali, not even really in Hindi. It's in Brijbhasa. And the part that comes again and again is very easy to remember. You'll learn in 2 seconds. If you have your devices, first of all, please put them all on silent, because these little babies have a habit of crying in the middle of the lecture. And you can look for Sundar Lala. Some places it's translated as Sundar Bala, but in my Hindi book it's Sundar Lala. Okay, there's our Mridangawala. Okay, nice. Sundara Lala Sachidulala Nachata Sri Hari Kirtaname.
Aname
Sundara Lala Sachidulala Nachata Sri Hari Kirtaname.
Sundara Lala Sachidulala Nachata Sri Hari Taname.
Balle Chandana Tilaka Manohara Alaka Shobhe Kapolaname.
Bale Chandana Tilaka Manohara Alaka Shobhe Kapolaname.
Bolo Sundara Lala Sachidulala Nachata Sri Hari Kirtaname.
Sundara Lala Sachidulala Nachata Sri Hari Kirtaname.
Shire Chuda Darshani Rale Vanapula Mala Hiya Pardole.
Shire Chuda Darshani Bale Vanapula Mala Hiraya Pamele.
Pairna Pita Patambara Shobe Nupura Runu Junu Charaname. Pairna Pita Patambara Shobe Nupura Runu
Junu Charaname.
Bolo Sundara Lala Sachidulala Nachata Sri Hari Kirtaname.
Sundara Bala Sachidulala Nachate Shri Hari Kirtaname.
Bolo Sundara Lala Sachidulala Nachata Sri Hari Kirtaname.
Sundara Bala Sachidulala Nachate Shri Hari Kirtaname.
Radha Krishna Ekatanu He Nirvana Maje Bansi Bajave.
Radha Krishna Ekatano Niduvana Maje Bamsi Bajaye.
Viswarupa Ki Prabhu ji sahi avata prakatahi nariya mein.
विश्वरूपा की प्रभाए आओ ता प्रकृति ही न दिया में
Bolo sundara lala sachidu lala Najata Sri Hari Kirtana mein.
सुंदर बाला सचे दुलाला नाचते श्री हरि कीर्तन में
Sundara Lala Sachidu Lala Najata Sri Hari Kirtana mein.
सुंदर बाला सचे दुलाला नाचते श्री हरि कीर्तन में
कोई गावत है राधा कृष्ण नाम कोई गावत है हरि गुणगान
कोई गायत है राधा कृष्ण नाम कोई गायत हरि हरि गुणगान
मृदंग ताला मधुर रसाला बजाता है कोई रंगन में मृदंग ताला मधुर रसाला
बजाता है कोई रंगन में
बोलो सुंदर लाला सचिदु लाला नाचत श्री हरि कीर्तन में.
सुंदर बाला सचे दुलाला नाचते श्री हरि कीर्तन में
बोलो सुंदर लाला सचिदु लाला नाचत श्री हरि कीर्तन में.
सुंदर बाला सचे दुलाला नाचते श्री हरि कीर्तन में
बोलो नाचत श्री हरि कीर्तन में.
नाचत श्री हरि कीर्तन में
बोलो नाचत श्री हरि कीर्तन में.
नाचत श्री हरि कीर्तन में
बोलो श्री सचिनंदन गौर हरि बोल. Sundara Lala Sachidu Lala Nachata Sri Hari Kirtan. So I think everybody knows Sundar here. Beautiful. But when Lord Chaitanya appeared 500 years ago, he was not Sham Sundar. He was Gaur Sundar. You're right. That's So Sundara Lala. In Braj, when we went to call a little boy, then we say Lala. So he was very beautiful boy. And whose little boy was he? Sachi Mata. So we call him Sachi Nandan or Sachi Dulala. Sundar Lala, Sachi Dulala, Nachata. Now you all know that Lord Shiva, he's known as Nataraj. But this is a very hard Sanskrit word, Nata. But our Brijbhasa language is very sweet and soft. So we say Nachata. Dancing. And where's Nimai dancing? In the Hotel Hilton? In the Disco Dance Club? In Hari Kirtan. Nachata Sri Hari Kirtan Me. In Hindi, instead of having prepositions, we have postpositions. So he's dancing Sri Hari Kirtan in Nachata Sri Hari Kirtan Me. Because in this dark age of Kali, this is the recommended process to chant very loudly, very enthusiastically, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Chalakaya Chaksurun Militanjena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Sayam Rupa Kadamaya Dadati Swapadantikam. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Panchakalpatrubhyascha Vipasindhu Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. So one time, Srila Prabhupada asked all the devotees, what is the most important verse of Srimad Bhagavad Gita? And what do you think they replied? Sarvadharmam Parityajah. Prabhupada said, nope. What else? Nope. Nope. He said the most important verse of Bhagavad Gita is Janma karma chame divyam evam yovati tatvata tyaktva deham punar janma naiti smameti sorjuna. It said Janma karma. Janma we know from Janmashtami. Janma means birth, and karma means activities. But Krishna's birth and activities are not ordinary. Janma karma chame divyam, almost like English, divine. Prabhupada said, Krishna has rasa lila and you have rascal lila. So Krishna's birth and activities, they're divine. Janma karma chame divyam. Evam yo veti tatvata, just like we know the word Veda is coming from this root, vit. Evam yo veti tatvata, one who knows the truth of my divine appearance and activities. Tyaktva deham. Tyaktva this is, of course the noun is tyag, but the verb is tyakt. After tyaktva deham, we know deha means body. Just like nice verses there in Bhagavad Gita. What is that? Dehe nosminyata dehe komaram yogaram tatradyantara prapti dira tatra namuyate. Oh, you're all scholars, huh? So tyaktva deham, after leaving this body, then what happens? Tyaktva deham, mameti sorjuna. We may get worried. What happens if when we leave this body? What will happen? Tyaktvan deha, punar janmana. There won't be another birth. What is that? Mameti sorjuna. You'll come to me. So Prabhupada said this is the most important verse. If you just understand that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his birth and activities are transcendental, not ordinary, then after leaving this body, you will go back to home, back to Godhead, back to Krishna. It says, Mahameti, you'll come to me. Mahameti Sarjuna. So this, he said, is the most important verse of Bhagavad Gita. And these are special days, like this is Brahadwadasi, the special day for us to remember the divine appearance and activities of the different incarnations. So today we get to hear about Lord Brahadev. So many millions of years ago, there was 4 fellows known as the 4 Kumaras. Sanak, Sanatan, Sanandan, and Sanat Kumar. And they've been brahmacharis since the beginning of the universe. So although they're millions of years old, they appear just like little boys of 5 years old. And their only covering is the atmosphere. They're only covered by the atmosphere. And originally they were impersonalists. They had realized the impersonal Brahman. But they were very powerful. So by their power, they actually went all the way up to Vaikuntha. Mm. And they're wandering around like little boys who are very curious. So they saw some doorway. They went through that doorway. In fact, they went through 6 doorways like this. And they were just little innocent little boys looking around. Mm. And they got to the 7th doorway, which was guarded by Jai and Vijay. And they immediately stopped and said, "Where are you little boys going? Huh? Don't they do that to you? Huh? Where are you going?" So they immediately became very angry. Said, "These people must be imposters. How are they here in Vaikuntha and presenting such an inharmonious? Everybody is in harmony. Everybody in Vaikuntha, everyone is there serving Krishna. And they're all very happy. So how these they're presenting a very inharmonious bhav. So how are they qualified to be here? They're just like demons. They should become demons on the earth." And then immediately they recognized that these were not just little boys, these were actually great sages. And they begged forgiveness. At that time, Lord Vishnu himself appeared on the scene. He heard something is going on. So he came along with Lakshmi, and the 4 Kumaras, they saw the form of the Lord beautifully described in Srimad Bhagavatam. Beautiful garland with bumblebees buzzing around, and beautiful golden helmet with so many jewels and so many bracelets and armlets, and beautiful flower garland and tosi leaves on his feet. In fact, the breeze carried the aroma of those tosi leaves to the 4 Kumaras, and being self-realized souls, they can understand this is not a material smell. They immediately became very attracted, seeing the beautiful form of the Lord. This is not an ordinary form. Well, we know Lord Brahma says, what is that verse? Since COVID, sometimes I forget my verses. What is that one? In Brahma Samhita? Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha. The Satchidananda Vigraha. They have form, but not made out of all these skin and bones and blood and all kinds of things we won't mention here. But Satchidananda Vigraha. Vigraha means form. The Lord has form. Satchidananda Vigraha. An Adir, he's without beginning. Adir, but he's the beginning of everything. Sarva Karana Karanam, he's the cause of everything. He's original cause. Isvara Parama Krishna, his name is Krishna. So they immediately understood. They were so attracted seeing the beautiful forms of Lakshmi and Narayan standing there. They immediately became Vaishnavas. They were Mayavadis, but they immediately became Vaishnavas by smelling the tulsi and seeing the beautiful form of the Lord and understanding it's not a material form. And they offered so many prayers. And well, first the Lord said, if the servant does something wrong, then the master is responsible. Just like here in America, if you're driving the company car and you have an accident, then they sue the company, right? They don't sue you. They sue the company because they were foolish enough to give you a charge of their car. So Krishna says, then he was begging forgiveness from the 4 Kumaras. They were, no, not like that. And anyway, Lord Vishnu explained that actually this was done by my will. I have some work for them to do in the material world. So they will go there, but they will never forget me, because this was their prayer. We may go take demons, but we don't want to ever forget your lotus feet. So no, you will always remember us, because they were always remembering the Lord even as demons. And then very soon they will come back to me, so don't worry. So then they all took birth as the sons of Diti. We know Aditi, she's the mother of all the demigods. So Diti, she's the mother of all the Daityas, all the demons. So they entered the womb of Diti. And she kept them there for 100 years. You just have to carry a baby for 9 months. You can imagine 100 years. Can't imagine. And those are demigod years because Diti's in the so, but her husband Kashyapa Muni consoled her that actually, because certain things were inauspicious at their conception, so therefore they will be great demons, but they will be killed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself. And the son of one of your sons, your grandson, he will be a great devotee of the Lord, Prahlad Maharaj. So Diti was very satisfied hearing that at least her grandson will be a great devotee, who will be famous all over the world. In fact, the other day we were celebrating the appearance day of Lochan Das Thakur last month. And he has written this Chaitanya Mangala. Now, I always hear in Chaitanya Charitamrita how Mahaprabhu was always hearing about all the intimate pastimes of Radha and Krishna with his very, very close associates. But in Chaitanya Mangala, Lochan Das Thakur explains that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he listened 100 times to Dhruva Leela and Prahlad Leela. 100 times he listened to these things. Because first we have to understand who we are. We're the servants of the Lord. We're not these material bodies. We're the soul inside this body. And the soul is part and parcel of Krishna. He's a servant of Krishna. So first we have to understand these things. We learn from Dhruva Maharaj and from Prahlad Maharaj all these things. This is most important. So Mahaprabhu listened 100 times about Dhruva and Prahlad. So she was very pacified that at least my grandson will be a great devotee of the Lord. He'll be famous all over the world. So finally, after 100 years, she gave birth to Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. So in our Vedic calculation, the child who comes out first is the youngest. The one who comes out second, he's the oldest. So Hiranyakashipu was the eldest of them. Although he was born second. Because they considered the first one was, he was conceived first, and the next one was conceived. So then he came out first, but he's the younger, and Hiranyakashipu was the older brother. And these two brothers began terrorizing the universe. And all the demigods, they were driven out of heaven. These two, they took over heaven. And they prayed to Lord Brahma to please save us from this. And Lord Brahma, he also was bewildered what to do. He began meditating on the Supreme Personality of Godhead because he figured he's the only one. These people are inconquerable by anyone. And then right from his nose came this little tiny boar. While he was meditating like that, a little tiny boar came from his nose. And then while he watched, suddenly he became as huge as an elephant. And suddenly he began to grow even larger. And he flew into the sky. And then he roared. When all the sages and demigods heard this roar, they understood this was a transcendental vibration. They were completely enlivened by this roaring. And all the sages began to chant the Vedic mantras. And Lord Braha was roaring. And this beautiful harmony was going on between the Vedic chants and the singing of Lord Braha. Then he dove into the ocean because the demons had taken the earth down into the bottom of the ocean. So he dove into the ocean. And Prabhupada explains, and purport there in Bhagavatam in 3rd canto, that a boar or a pig, his main sense is the nose. So we can understand, just like if we see if there's some body of water sitting around, gradually so much dirt and so many, just like we were discussing about the cleansing of Radhakund the other night. They were all just buckets and buckets of black mud were coming out. So you can just imagine, bottom of the universe for millions of years, all this sediment is coming. So nobody could see where the earth was, but Hog, by his nose, he, you've seen they have big nose, huh? So he dove into the ocean, splitting her in two with his sharp hooves, and he dove to the bottom and found out this. And Hiranyaksha became very angry. This earth is entrusted to us. Who are you? And Lord, he took the earth from the bottom of the Garbhodak ocean and took him up to the surface. And then by his mystic power, by his Yogamaya potency, he caused the earth to, he gave floating Shakti to the earth. So she stayed there on top of the water. And then Srimad Bhagavatam describes amazing pastimes of huge fight. In fact, I figure that I can't even equal what's described in Srimad Bhagavatam in, I believe it's the 18th chapter. Let's see. Chapter 18. Okay, here we are. Okay. Well, even though it's very exciting, huh? Hiranyaksha, he had captured the whole of heaven. So then he went down into the ocean, and he finally came to the abode of Varuna, which is known as Vibhavari. Interesting. Vibhavari. Vibhavari is the home of Varuna, lord of the aquatic creatures and guardian of the lower regions of the universe, where the demons generally reside. There Hiranyaksha fell at Varuna's feet like a low-born man, and to make fun of him, he said with a smile, "Give me battle, O Supreme Lord." You are the guardian of entire sphere and a ruler of wide fame, having crushed the might of arrogant and conceited warriors, and having conquered all the Daityas and Danavas in this world, you once performed a Rajasuya sacrifice to the Lord. Thus mocked by an enemy whose vanity knows no bounds, the worshipful Lord of the waters waxed angry, but by dint of his reason he managed to curb the anger that sprung up in him, and he replied, "O dear one, we have now desisted from warfare, having grown too old for combat. You are so skilled in war that I do not see anyone else but the most ancient person, Lord Vishnu, who can give satisfaction in battle to you. Therefore, O chief of the Asuras, approach him, whom even heroes like you mention with pride, with praise." Varuna continued, "On reaching him, you will be rid of your pride and at once will lie down on the field of battle, surrounded by dogs for eternal sleep. It is in order to exterminate wicked fellows like you and to show his grace to the virtuous that he assumes his various incarnations like Varaha." The proud and falsely glorious Daitya paid little heed to the words of Varuna. O dear Vidura, he learned from Narada the whereabouts of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and hurriedly betook himself to the depths of the ocean. Hmm. He saw there the all-powerful personality of Godhead in his boar incarnation, bearing the earth upward on the ends of his tusks and robbing him of his splendor with his reddish eyes. The demon laughed. "Oh, amphibious beast!" The demon addressed the Lord. "Oh, best of the demigods, dressed in the form of a boar, just hear me. This earth is entrusted to us, the inhabitants of the lower regions, and you cannot take it away from my presence and not be hurt by me. You rascal, you have been nourished by your enemies to kill us, and you have killed some demons by remaining invisible. O fool, your power is only mystic. Today I shall enliven my kinsmen by killing you." The demon continued, "When you fall dead with your skull smashed by the mace hurled by my arms, the demigods and sages who offer you oblations and sacrifice in devotional service will all automatically cease to exist, like trees without roots." Although the Lord was pained by the shaft-like abusive words of the demon, he bore the pain. But seeing that the earth on the ends of his tusks was frightened, he rose out of the water, just as an elephant emerges with his female companions when assailed by an alligator. The demon who had golden hair on his head, amazing, he was blonde, and fearful tusks, gave chase to the Lord while he was rising from the water, even as an alligator would chase an elephant. Roaring like thunder, he said, "Are you not ashamed of running from the battlefield? There is nothing irreproachable for such shameless creatures." The Lord placed the earth within his sight on the surface of the water and transferred to her his own energy in the form of ability to float on the water. While the enemy stood looking on, Brahma, the creator of the universe, extolled the Lord, and other demigods rained flowers on him. The demon who had a wealth of ornaments, bangles, and beautiful golden armor on his body, chased the Lord from behind with a great mace. The Lord tolerated his piercing ill words, but in order to reply to him, he expressed his terrible anger. The personality of God had said, "Indeed, we are creatures of the jungle, and we are searching after hunting dogs like you. One who is freed from the entanglement of birth and death, has no fear from the loose talk in which you are indulging, for you are bound by the laws of death. Certainly we have stolen the charge of the inhabitants of Rasatala and have lost all shame. Although bitten by your powerful mace, I shall stay here in the water for some time, because having created enmity with a powerful enemy, I now have no place to go. You were supposed to be the commander of many foot soldiers, and now you may take prompt steps to overthrow us. Give up all your foolish talk and wipe out the cares of your kith and kin by slaying us. You may be proud, yet he who does not deserve a seat in an assembly. One may be proud, yet he does not deserve a seat in an assembly if he fails to fulfill his promised word. You're talking big words. Let's see what you can do, Maitreya said, the demon, being thus challenged by the personality of Godhead, became angry and agitated. He trembled in anger like a challenged cobra. Just like one time in the restaurant kitchen, we found a cobra, and some devotee came to try to get that cobra, and he was just, oh, so frightening to see. Sometimes in our Goshala also we found cobra coming. Hissing indignantly, all his senses shaken by wrath. the demon quickly sprang upon the Lord and dealt him a blow with his powerful mace. The Lord, however, by moving slightly aside, dodged the violent mace blow aimed at his breast by the enemy, just as an accomplished yogi would elude death. It's so exciting, huh? The personality of Godhead now exhibited his anger and rushed to meet the demon, who bit his lip in rage, took up his mace again, and began to repeatedly brandish it about. Then with his mace the Lord struck the enemy on the right side of his brow. But since the demon was expert in fighting, O gentle Vidur, he protected himself by a maneuver with his own mace. In this way, the demon, Hiranyaksha, and the Lord, the personality of Godhead, struck each other with their huge maces, each enraged, seeking his own victory. There was keen rivalry between the two combatants. Both had sustained injuries on their bodies from the blows of each other's pointed maces, and each grew more and more enraged at the smell of blood on his person. In their eagerness to win, they performed maneuvers of various kinds, and their contest looked like an encounter between two forceful bulls for the sake of a cow. O descendant of Kuru, Brahma, the most independent demigod of the universe, accompanied by his followers, came to see the terrible fight for the sake of the world between the demon and the personality of Godhead, who appeared in the form of a boar. Arriving at the place of combat, Brahma, the leader of thousands of sages and transcendentalists, saw the demon, who had attained such unprecedented power that no one could fight with him. Brahma then addressed Narayan, who was assuming the form of a boar for the first time. Lord Brahma said, "My dear Lord, this demon has proved to be a constant pinprick to the demigods, the brahmanas, the cows, and innocent persons, who are spotless and always dependent upon worshipping your lotus feet. Since he has attained a boon from me, he has become a demon and always searching for a proper combatant, wandering all over the universe for this infamous purpose. My dear Lord, there is no need to play with the serpentine demon, who is always very skilled in conjuring tricks and is arrogant, self-sufficient, and most wicked. My dear Lord, you are infallible. Please kill this sinful demon before the demonic hour arrives, and he presents another formidable approach favorable to him. You can kill him by your internal potency without a doubt." The auspicious period known as Abhijit, which is most opportune for victory, commenced at midday and has all but passed. Therefore, in the interest of your friends, please dispose of this formidable foe quickly. The demon, luckily for us, has come of his own accord to you, his death ordained by you. Therefore, exhibiting your ways, kill him in the duel and establish the worlds in peace. Sri Maitreya said, after hearing the words of Brahma, the Creator, which were free from all sinful purposes and as sweet as nectar, the Lord heartily laughed and accepted his prayer with a glance laden with love. The Lord, who had appeared from the nostril of Brahma, sprang and aimed his mace at the chin of his enemy, the Hiranyaksha demon, who was stalking fearlessly before him. Struck by the demon's mace, however, the Lord's mace slipped from his hand and looked splendid as it fell whirling and whirling. This was miraculous, for the mace was blazing wonderfully. Even though the demon had an excellent opportunity to strike his unarmed foe without obstruction, he respected the laws of single combat, thereby kindling the fury of the Supreme Lord. As the Lord's mace fell to the ground and a cry of alarm from the witnessing crowds of gods and rishis, they were all in the clouds watching, And they all began to cry. The personality of Godhead acknowledged the demon's love of righteousness and therefore invoked his Sudarshan chakra. As the discus began to revolve in the Lord's hand, and the Lord contended at close quarters with the chief of his Vaikundit attendants, this was actually Jaya Vijay, who had been born as Hiranyaksha, a vile son of Diti, there issued from every direction strange expressions uttered by those who were witnessing from airplanes. They had no knowledge of the Lord's reality, and they cried, "May victory attend you! Please dispatch him! Play no more with him!" The demon who had fearful tusks stared at the personality of Godhead as though to burn him. Springing into the air, he aimed his mace at the Lord, exclaiming at the same time, "You are slain!" O saintly Vidura, while his enemy looked on, the Lord, in his boar form, the enjoyer of all sacrificial offerings, playfully knocked down the mace with his left foot, as it came upon him with force of a tempest. The Lord then said, "Take up your weapon and try again, eager as you are to conquer me." Challenged in these words, the demon aimed his mace at the Lord and once more loudly roared. When the Lord saw the mace flying towards him, he stood firmly where he was and caught it with the same ease as Garuda, the king of the birds, would seize a serpent. His valor thus frustrated, the great demon felt humiliated and was put out of countenance. He was reluctant to take back the mace when it was offered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord Brahma picked up his mace and said, "Try again." He now took a trident, which was as rapacious as a flaming fire, and hurled it against the Lord, the enjoyer of all sacrifices, even as one would use penance for a malevolent purpose against a holy Brahmin. Hurled by the mighty demon with all his strength, the flying trident shone brightly in the sky. The personality of God, however, tore it to pieces with his discus Sudarshan, which was a sharp edge, which had a sharp-edged rim, even as Indra cut off the wing of Garuda. The demon was enraged when his trident was cut to pieces by the discus of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore he advanced toward the Lord, roaring loudly, struck his hard fist against the Lord's broad chest, which bore the mark of Srivatsa. Who's Srivatsa here? Oh, there he is. Okay. Then he went out of sight. Hit in this manner by the demon, O Vidura, the Lord, who appeared as the first boar, did not feel the least quaking in any part of his body, any more than an elephant when struck with a wreath of flowers. The demons, however, employed many conjuring tricks against the personality of Godhead, who is the Lord of Yogamaya. At the sight of this, people were filled with alarm, and they thought that the dissolution of the universe was near. Fierce winds began to blow from all directions, spreading darkness occasioned by dust and hailstorms. Stones came in volleys from every corner, as if thrown by machine guns. Wow. The luminaries in outer space disappeared due to the skies being overcast with masses of clouds, which were accompanied by lightning and thunder. The sky rained pus, hair, blood, stool, urine, and bones. Oh my goodness. Oh, sinful Vidura, mountains discharged weapons of various kinds, and naked demonesses, armed with tridents, appeared with their hair hanging loose. The Lord, the personal enjoyer of all sacrifices, now discharged his beloved Sudarshan, which was capable of dispelling the magical forces displayed by the demon. At that very moment, a shudder ran through the heart of Diti, the mother of Hiranyaksha. She recalled the words of her husband Kashyapa, and blood flowed from her breasts. When the demon saw his magic forces dispelled, he once again came into the presence of the personality of Godhead, Keshava, and full of rage tried to embrace him within his arms to crush him. But to his great amazement, he found the Lord standing outside the circle of his great arms. The demon now began to strike the Lord with his hard fists. But Lord Adhokshaja slapped him at the root of the ear, even as Indra, the lord of the Maruts, hit the demon Vritra. Though struck indifferently by the Lord, the conqueror of all, the demon's body began to wheel. His eyeballs bulged out of their sockets, his arms and legs broken, and the hair on his head scattered. He fell down dead like a gigantic tree uprooted by the wind. Aja, Brahma, and others arrived on the spot to see the fearfully tusked demon lying on the ground, biting his lip. The glow of his face was yet unfaded, and Brahma admiringly said, "Oh, who could meet such blessed death?" He was struck by a forefoot of the Lord, whom yogis seeking freedom from their unreal material bodies meditate upon in seclusion and mystic trance. While gazing on his countenance, this crushed jewel of Diti's sons has cast off his mortal coil. What could be more blessed? Seeing the face of the Lord and dying in the Lord's presence. These two personal assistants of the Supreme Lord, having been cursed, have been destined to take birth in demoniac families. After a few such births, they will return to their own positions. The demigods addressed the Lord. All obeisance unto you. You are the enjoyer of all sacrifice, and you have assumed the form of a boar in pure goodness for the purpose of maintaining the world. Fortunately for us, the demon who was a torment to the worlds has been slain by you, and we too, O Lord, are now at ease in devotion at your lotus feet. Maitreya said, after thus killing the most formal demon here in Yaksha, the Supreme Lord Hare, the origin of the boar species, returned to his own abode, where there is always an uninterrupted festival. The Lord was praised by all the demigods, headed by Lord Brahma. My dear Vidura, I have explained to you the personality of Godhead coming down as the boar incarnation and killing in a great fight a demon of unprecedented prowess as if he were just a plaything. This has been narrated by me as I heard it from my predecessor, spiritual master. So Prabhupada points out in the purport, this is the, just like we discussed last night, evam parampara praptum. We have to hear from the cyclic succession. So Maitreya is saying, I heard this from my spiritual master, exactly the same way. Sri Sutta continued, my dear Brahmana, Shatta Vidura, the great devotee of the Lord, achieved transcendental bliss by hearing the narration of the pastimes of the personality of Godhead from the authoritative source of the sage Maitreya, and he was very pleased. What to speak of hearing the pastimes of the Lord, whose chest is marked with Srivatsa, with people may take transcendental pleasure, even in hearing the works and deeds of the devotees, whose fame is immortal. The personality Godhead delivered the king of the elephants, who was attacked by an alligator, and who meditated upon the lotus feet of the Lord. At that time, the female elephants who accompanied him were crying, and the Lord saved them from the impending danger. What grateful soul is there who would not render loving service to such a great master as the personality of Godhead? The Lord can be easily pleased by spotless devotees who resort exclusively to him for protection, although the unrighteous man find it difficult to propitiate him. Now listen to this. O Brahmanas, anyone who hears, chants, or takes pleasure in the wonderful narration of the killing of Hiranyaksha demon by the Lord who appeared in his boar incarnation in order to deliver the world is at once relieved of the results of sinful activities, even the killing of a Brahmana. Did you hear that with attention? Anyone who hears, chants, takes pleasure in this narration is at once relieved from the results of sinful activities, even the killing of a Brahmana. This most sacred narrative confers extraordinary merit, wealth, fame, longevity, and all the objects of one's desire. On the field of battle, it promotes the strength of one's vital organs and organs of action. One who listens to it at the last moment of his life is transferred to the supreme abode of the Lord, O dear Shonika. So thus ends the pastime of Lord Braha, which we're celebrating today. And such a wonderful benediction that Sukadeva Goswami has given us at the end. So this is, the Lord performs all these wonderful activities because we like to hear some exciting, big, especially big fights. We like to see big fights, and what could be amazing fight, huge boar and this huge demon. So exciting. We heard so many exciting details. We like to hear these things. So the Lord is so merciful upon us. Just like when I first ran into the devotees in Boulder, Colorado, because I was living with my friend, his name at that time was Sunshine, not because of the sun, something else, but we won't discuss that now. And he later became Srivas. Anyway, we used to sit in the mountains and speculated at the speed of mind, and we come to the conclusion, it's beyond words. Why did you say that? We would go on speculating and speculating. He said, there's nothing to be said. Then why did you say that? So I told Bhavananda, who was the first devotee I ever met, I said, but Bhavananda, isn't all talking nonsense? He said, yes, you're right. Unless you're chanting Hare Krishna, the Lord's names, or you're talking about Krishna. And that just blew my mind, because I realized that I was never going to stop talking. So I didn't know what to do. He said, but talking about Krishna is transcendental. He said, that is a transcendental vibration that will liberate your consciousness from this material plane and raise it up to the spiritual plane. Because even before I was a devotee, people used to tell me, you don't tell stories, you tell movies. So I just dovetailed my talent, whatever Krishna gave me, I just dovetailed it in his service, In fact, I remember the only pastime I knew was about Lord Nrsingadev. So whoever came to the temple, I dragged them over to the picture of Nrsingadev. I know they thought first time they come to the temple, they see this lion there ripping this guy apart. And I tell this story. That was the only story I knew. And I said, but Bhavananda, aren't we all God? He said, oh, you are God? And how you have forgotten. And that struck me like a ton of bricks, Because we used to ask the same question. We would say, wow, I'm God, you're God, we're all God. Look at all these foolish people, they don't know, It was practically asking the same question, Oh, you are God, and how you have forgotten. Because even, we were brought up as a Catholic. Even we used to go to catechism class, and the first thing that we learned is that God knows everything, but he forgot himself. So even this little child in the catechism class in the Catholic school, he's greater than these great Mayavadi philosophers. So Krishna performs we like to, see some wonderful these pastimes of the Lord are unimaginable. They haven't come up with anything better. And hearing them liberates us from this material plane. So this is Krishna's mercy upon us. And there's a special place, there's a special Brahadidi. When you go down just down one block down from the temple, there's the Prikrama Marg. And you go down the Prikrama Marg and it winds around, then suddenly it turns to the right. Just before you turn you pass the Bhaktivedanta Hospital, and then you turn around and you come, and there's a big red sandstone temple there. And this place is known as Brahagat. And there you'll see beautiful, incredibly beautiful deity of Braha. The original Brahadev deity was stolen because in old days these thieves used to come and you can bring them to the West and sell them for thousands of dollars. They steal all these old things, old one. But some sadhu has taken over this place and he's built a beautiful temple, a beautiful deity of Lakshmi Varaha. Very, very beautiful deity, and that place is known as Brahagat. And it became known as Brahagat because one time during Ras Leela, Krishna was bragging to the gopis that he was Lord Ram, he was this one, he was that one. So the gopis, they challenged, oh, you said you were Lord Ram, you must have been Lord Braha. We don't believe all these things you say. So then Krishna manifested his Braha Roop at that place. Because we know there's one devotee named Surdas who just opened the most magnificent temple in Kargar in Bombay. And his wife's name is Braharupa. So I pointed her out to her that, because she was always feeling funny, Braharupa is a strange name for a lady, I said, but this was a Madhurya Ras Braha. Because Krishna manifested it in Braj. So he manifested his Braharupa there, Brahagat. That's why it became known as Brahagat. So we'll put our voice to rest here unless you have some questions. Oh yes, in Mathura, there's one Brahadidi in Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. He went there on his Prikrama and he signed that Pujari, he'll show you, he signed in the book. And he told the story of this Braha that Lord Brahma, he was very astonished when this Brahadidi appeared out of his nostril, and he was enchanted. So so Lord Brahma had a Brahadidi carved, and later he gave that to Kubera. And when Ravana conquered the universe, he took it to Sri Lanka. And after Ram conquered Ravana, Ram conquered Ravana, then how did he get to Mathura? I'm trying to remember. Somehow he was taken. When after Ram conquered it, he took that deity to Ayodhya. That's right. Ram took the deity to Ayodhya because this is made by Lord Brahma, who's engineer of the whole universe. So this is very special deity from millions of years ago. So he took him back to Ayodhya and was worshipping him. And then there was a demon named Lavanasura in Madhuvan, and he was persecuting all the sages. And so all the rishis went to Lord Ram, and begged for Lord Ram's help. And at that time, Lakshman said, no, you don't go. You just came back. Because Lord Ram had just come back from 14 years of exile. He said, you don't go. I'll go. This is just a little demon. I'll go get him. And then Satrughna, the younger brother, he said, no. You were in Nandigram performing these pandits and austerities. You don't bother yourself. I'll go. And then he realized that he interrupted his older brother, because in Vedic culture, we're very conscious of etiquette, So he said, no, all right, you go. Then Lord Ram said, no, you are showing the quality that you're the one that's qualified, because nobody can admit his faults. We have a great sage named Murphy, and I saw one building there in Dallas. He has got an office there, Murphy. And he says that to err is human, but to blame it on someone else is more human. So you recognized your own fault, so you're qualified to go. So Shatrughan said, all right, go, but please let me take that Brahadidi with me, so because we just read it assures one of victory in the battlefield. So he took that Brahadidi with him to Madhuvan, and he killed that Lavanasura, and he made his kingdom there. He called it Madhupuri. And the Madhuvan, that's the best walk on Braj Prikrama, because it's just 2 or 3 kilometers outside of Mathura. So his whole place became known, from Madhupuri, it became known as Mathura, and Shatrughan was ruling there, and he installed that Brahadidi there. If you go to Dwarkadish temple, and you're standing looking at Dwarkadish, on the right side there's a road that goes up, and you go up 2 roads. In fact, you can't go any further. You go up 2 roads, 2 blocks, it's upward, and then you turn right, and first you come to Swait Braha, because it was 2 incarnations of the Lord. One was Swait, which means white, and one was Lal Braha. So you go down, you continue down, and then it dead ends there at Lal Braha. And at Swait Braha, even though he was the white incarnation, they never used to let white people go there. Now there's a nice pujari there. He told me, no, you come anytime. We've gone there and done Kirtan and things like that. So that's Swait Braha. But anyway, Lal Braha, the Brahmins there were always very happy. They would let us come. And then you can see, most of the time you see Lord Braha with a round globe on his tusk. But it was the whole Bhu Mandala, not just the earth, because we don't have, we sometimes we translate Bhumandala as the earth, and sometimes we translate the earth as the earth. But you can see there's this flat plane on his tusk. This was made by Lord Brahma, who understands the universe. And you can see there's the Lokaloka mountain range, and there's the Manasotra mountain range. And you can see all the mountain ranges are there. It's a very beautiful deity of Lal Baraha is there. And Bhaktisiddhanta says, signed his book that this is the correct story, that he's all the way from made by Lord Brahma coming on down like that. Very, very intriguing deity. Anyway, we have to run back to Houston for Sunday feast there, so we'll have to put our voice to rest here. And yes, yeah. So we have our latest book with us, Braj Leela Part 3, Giriraj, the King of Mountains. So, and we'll show you most of the other books that I wrote, we have 10 or 12 pictures. But this time we decided, because everybody loves my friend, on Facebook he's known as Arjun Bhattacharya, so you've seen all his photos. So we decided to make it a photo book. So you'll see 284 beautiful color pictures. You were more expert at me. And we got special permission from BBT to use 32 paintings, color paintings, and 350 pages of nectar. Somehow I get it always mixed. 530 pages of nectar, and all the places on Govardhan that we could find that anybody knows about these days. There are some places that we found records of, but nobody knows where they are. So at least every place that's available, unknown now, is in his book, so that won't be lost in the future. And we're just asking a small donation of $25, and we can accept cards and Apple Pay and so many things. Cash, of course. And I'm here to sign it if you want a copy. Hare Krishna.
Now there'll be, right? Yeah. Maybe we'll be at the back over there. Yeah. If somebody wants a book, you can come over there. Prabhu can sign if you want to get it from his hand.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Thank you, Prabhu, for your association and blessings. You have traveled all the way from Vrindavan, and we are deeply grateful for your presence. We pray for your well-being and sincerely hope that you will continue to grace us with your presence in the coming years. Dear devotees, please chant one time Hare Krishna Mahamantra loudly to express our heartful gratitude. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, whoever want book, you can go to the other room. Maybe Deena Bandhu Prabhu can sign for you. But Prabhu has to leave to Houston. I'm not sure how many can he sign. He's rushed to go, but you can collect the book for paying $25. Now we have Arati. Today Arati going to perform by Radha Rajbihari Prabhu and the Kirtan by Prabhu is not. He wants. Yeah. Can available for.
I'll have to rush now.
Ah.
I have to go to Krishna.
Yes, okay.
There is chair.
Oh, okay, Prabhu.
You want this one?
I know. Yeah.
Set up the
Okay.
Hare Krishna. So as Satyarupa Prabhu said, the books are there. Prabhuji will, Deena Bandhu Prabhu will sign it personally. If you want to donate more than $25, you're more than welcome to, because I remember my father traveling thousands of kilometers to meet exalted personalities. They are coming here. So if, of course, get the book. It's amazing. You can see all of Vrindavan. Next time you travel, itinerary is that book. But if you want to donate more than $25, you're more than welcome to. There is a Prabhuji helping you there. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Okay, I'll be sitting. We don't need Mother. You can take it. Okay, who's going to play the mridanga? No, who is? Somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Please sit down. Please sit down. Those who are playing mridanga. Please sit down. Shall we start? Okay. Kartal, no, I'll play it. Just. We don't need 3 mridangas. Only 2. Please, no, don't play too many. Play continuously, okay? Okay, just. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine
Namaste Vishnupadaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine
Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine
Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine
Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda
Nanda
Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama,
Hey, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Haraya Namah Krishna Yadavaya Namah Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namah
Haraya Namah Krishna Yadavaya Namaha Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha
Gopal Govindara Srimad Sutana Girivara Gopinath Madana Mohan
गोपाल गोविंद राम श्री मधुसूदन गिरिधर गोपीनाथ मदन मोहना
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
Jaya Radha Damodar Radha Damodar Radhe
जय राधा दामोदर राधे
Jaya Radha Shyama Sundar Radha Shyama Sundar Radhe
जय राधा श्याम सुंदर राधे
Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe
जय राधा माधव राधे
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada
जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद
Jaya Gurudev Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev
जय जय गुरुदेव जय जय गुरुदेव
Tagora Hari Bol
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol
निताई गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताई गौर हरि बोल Last we need to finish night.
Hare Krishna, please bow down to the deities. जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राज का आचार्य स्तोत्र श्री श्रीमती देसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी महाराज प्रभुपाद की जय जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राज का आचार्य स्तोत्र श्री श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज प्रभुपाद की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय इस्कॉन फाउंडर आचार्य श्री प्रभुपाद की जय प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिर गोवर्धन की श्री वृंदावन धाम की श्री मायापुर धाम की श्री गंगा माई यमुना माई की भक्ति देवी तुलसी देवी की श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय बृहत मृदंगा की जय ऑल ग्लोरीज टू assembled devotees all glories to assembled devotees all glories to श्री गुरु एंड श्री गौर all glories to श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय
Namaste Narasimhaya Namaste प्रह्लादलायदायिने हिरण्यकशिपुर्वशः हिरण्यकशिपुर्वशः शीलकङ्कानकालाये एतो नरसिंहो परतो नरसिंहो एतो एतो यामिततो नरसिंहो बाहिर्नरसिंहो हृदये नरसिंहो सिंहसिं शरणं प्रपदे नरसिंहमरणं प्रपदे तव करकमलवरे नखा अद्भुतशृङ्गा दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृङ्गा केशवतीर्था नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे अद्भुत दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु केशवतीर्था नरहरिरूपा
जय जगदीश रे जय जगदीश हरे
केशवतीर्था नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे केशवतीर्था
नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे
जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव
जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव
जय प्रह्लाद महाराज जय प्रह्लाद महाराज जय प्रह्लाद महाराज जय प्रह्लाद महाराज
जय प्रह्लाद महाराज जय प्रह्लाद महाराज जय प्रह्लाद महाराज जय प्रह्लाद महाराज
नरसिंह भगवान की जय आज की जय
जय जय
Thank you, Radha Rajbihari Prabhu, for the Pujari service. Thank you, Radha Damodar Prabhu, for the wonderful